Hello, welcome to the tutorial for lesson 20 on designing continuous assessment reporting system. So in this lesson, I'm going to be creating assessment types, terms, and assessment setup tables, and I'll be scaffolding CRUD pages for each of these entities. The highlight of this video for me will be the creation of a compound unique key on AssessmentSetups table. So I right click on tables, I go to new, I click on table. So we are going to have term ID, that type is int. Term ID will be primary key. Term ID will be identity, and then we are also going to have term name. That type will be n-50 compulsory column. So I save this table as terms. I right click on term names, I click on indexes stroke keys, I click on add, I change the type of key I'm creating to a unique key, and my participating columns will be just term name. I click OK. I right click, to save the table. Then I right click on tables in Object Explorer again. I click point to new, I click on table, assessment type ID int, also primary key. Also identity column. So now I'm going to have assessment type name. That type n-50 is compulsory column. I save this table as AssessmentTypes. So I click OK. I right click on assessment type name. I click on indexes stroke keys. I click on add. I change type to unique key, and participating column I'm going to change to just assessment type name. I click OK. I click close. Once again I right click and I save assessment types. Create a new table once again. First column is assessment setup ID. That type is big int. This primary key. Also identity column. After changing it to identity column, I'm going to have assessment type ID, which is int, compulsory column, academic section ID, which will also be int. Term ID, which will also be int. School class ID, which will also be int. Subject ID, which will be big int. Marks obtainable, which will be int as well. Compulsory column. So I save the table as assessment setups. Now I'm going to create indexes through keys. Again, I click indexes through keys, I click add, I change the type to unique key. This time around, the first column in the composite key will be as assessment type ID. The second column will be academic session ID. The third column will be term ID. The fourth column will be school class ID. And the last but not the least column will be subject ID. So we click OK. So that's a composite key here. We right click, say save assessment setups. So I'm going to create a new database diagram. So in this database diagram, I'm going to add assessment setups. Then I'll right click again, add assessment types table, close. I drag and drop from assessment type ID, that is primary key, to the other table. I drop an assessment type ID again. I click OK. I click OK. Add table. I'm going to add academic sessions now. I click close. Click OK. Then I'll create relationship for terms as well. So I add table. So I drag and drop from term ID on terms to term ID in assessment setup. I click OK. I click OK. Then I add school classes. Click close. Drag and drop again. The last but not the least will be subjects. So the next thing I'll be doing is to save this diagram. So now I will be importing the old stuff inside RADZEN BLAZOR STUDIO. So I click on data. I make sure Condita is selected. I click on next. I ensure that the 3 tables I've just created are added. I ensure an optimistic concurrency. I click next. Do I want to generate pages? Yes. What type of page? CRUD pages. I click on next. I don't want to overwrite any existing file. So I'm going to select assessment setup, assessment type, and then for configuration, okay. For field date formats dd/mm/yyyy. Then we click finish. So I wait for RADZEN to finish inferring the database. So RADZEN is ready to run the app. So we click run. So RADZEN is building the app. I pause the video until RADZEN is done. So the app is ready. Once again, I log in with development credentials of username admin, password admin. I click login. So now I have successfully logged in. So now that I've successfully logged in, let me go to terms, click terms, click add. So let's add first term. Click save. Let's click add again. I'm going to add second term. I click save. Let's click on assessment types. I click on add. I'm going to add an assessment type called midterm test. Let's click add again. I'm going to add another assessment type for end of term examination. So let's click on AssessmentSetups. Let's click on add. Marks obtainable 40. Academic section 2022-2023. Assessment type midterm test. Class primary 1. Subject English letter work. Term first term. I click save. Now let me click add again. Marks obtainable is 40. Academic section 2022-2023. Assessment type midterm test. School class primary 1. Subject mathematics/number work 10. First 10. Now let's see what happens if I try to enter, let's say, mark of 56, academic section 2022-2023, term midterm assessment type midterm test, class primary 1, subject English letter work, term first 10, and I click save. What happens? It says cannot save. I cannot save because of the unique key constraint that we've created at database level. So let's see. You can see it says violation of unique key constraint, assessment setup. Cannot insert duplicate key in object DBO assessment setup. So our unique key, composite unique key constraint is actually working. Thank you for watching.